All right, finally, the losing streak is over. It is snapped at 4 games. Padres, with their bats, break out in a big way. Snell, good, but the offense was even better. Xander Bogaerts needed a night like tonight. He gets it in a big Padres win. Tonight, Bogaerts 4 for 5, 3 RBIs and a home run. Juan Soto, a pair of hits. Fernando Tatis Jr., 3 hits. Ha-Seong Kim, a 16-game hitting streak. So a very impressive offensive night. Padres pick up a half game in the wild card standings. They remain 4 games out with 46 to play. John and Jim with you. It is the wrap-up show. Make your way in, subscribe, smash the like button, follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thank you for the super chats. We'll get to every single super here tonight. Click that $ below the chat box. We really do appreciate your support of the channel. We'll get to every single super chat here tonight. If you want to control the direction, make sure we get your comment, put it on screen. If you have a question, you can click that $ below the chat box. If you want to become a member, click join down below. You'll get emojis and badges. But Jim, we've been waiting for a night like tonight. We'll see if this leads to another night like tonight. We've seen this before where they score 10 runs and don't show up the next day. But we said today they needed it, and they finally get it as they win 10-5.
They're 1-0 after having team meetings in Seattle.
Right.
They haven't lost ever after a team meeting in Seattle. Tonight was a very good win. In a vacuum, it was great. Just you got to do it tomorrow, and you got to do it Sunday, and you got to win 2 or 3 against Baltimore, and you got to then sweep the Diamondbacks next weekend, and then you feel good. But like, again, I'm not going to get overly excited about one win. It was a good response. I mean, the last thing this team could do was come out tonight and lose. Like you can't. There is no way in hell, after the comments that were said on Tuesday night about quitting and we don't know what team meetings, like there was no way you could have lost tonight. You couldn't have. Like, there's no way. So good on them for responding. It would have been a horrible look if they lost. At first, I was like, oh, here we go. Snell walks the 2 first guys of the game, and they're up 1-0. And you're like, are you kidding me right now? But this game tonight for me was the $280 million Xander Bogaerts that they paid for. This was the Xander Bogaerts that we all expected to see this year. Maybe not every game, but like majority of the games. Huge home run when they're trailing, steals a base, 4 for 5. He's not hitting cheap singles, hitting in the gap, hitting for power. This was the Xander Bogaerts that everybody expected to see tonight for the entire year, and it's good to see. You just hope that there's more of it to come.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously, he's been waiting forever for a night like tonight. He had not homered in forever. A 4-hit game. The interesting thing, I think Kevin said it today on John and Jim on the radio. He's like, he's actually hit 300 since the All-Star break. He just hasn't hit with anyone on base. He hasn't had any RBIs essentially since the All-Star break, but that ended here tonight with 3. The home run he hit was a massive home run, by the way. He hit it like 420 feet. I don't know what the distance was, but it was straight away center field. So it had to be 420 feet.
Barrel.
Yeah, he definitely barreled it up. Back to your point about the first inning, by the way, what was interesting to me, and Snell does this routinely. I mean, he routinely is in these spots where he gets out of them. A run is in at second and third, 1 out. He gets a ground ball to third. Easy play from Machado. He comes home for the second out. Then there would have been a wild pitch if not for, I guess, Christian. You know what it was? It was Christian Walker's not fast.
He's slow. He's slow.
And, that could have been a second run, and you wouldn't have felt good at all in that spot. Now, maybe they still score 10 runs and pound out 14 hits and do that tonight to whoever the hell started for the Diamondbacks, Ryan Nelson. But I thought that first inning was, it felt impactful. Run in, second and third, 1 out. But to get out of it 1-0, not like 2 or 3-0, is what Blake Snell has done by and large this year. And then, you know what? Steven Wilson allows a 3-run home run to Tommy Pham. Surprise, right, of all things. But they then responded in the 9th inning. So this wasn't one of those nights where they score like 2 or 3 runs early and then they go quiet. They tacked on a run in the 6th inning, 3 in the 9th inning. And again, like you said, it's one night, but this is the Padres team. Forget Xander Bogaerts. This is the Padres I expected to see. A
Yeah.
team that could score in multiple innings. You know, deal with adversity. Went down by a run early. Survived that 3-run home run from Tommy Pham. This is the team we expected to see this year. We just haven't seen it very often.
It is. Everybody contributed. Snell went 6 innings. After the first, you're like, no chance he's going 6. Again, the bullpen remains like an issue. You know, Steven Wilson has imploded the last couple outings here. Just not a lockdown type of bullpen until you get to Hader. So that's an issue. But like what we thought about this year is, well, the pitching doesn't have to always be perfect because you have such a great lineup that you are just going to outscore a bunch of dudes. I mean, you're going to outscore a bunch of teams like they did tonight, 10-5, right? 7-4, you know, like you don't have to have the best pitching in the world, but because you have such a great offense, and it's proven that this offense this year has been average to below average most of the season, with a lot of sprinkled in 10-run outings and 11-run games and 9-run games to make the run differential look really good. So, yeah, tonight was, from the offensive side, is what you expected to see most of this year from the Padres. And it was good to see because it was everybody. It wasn't just one person.
And here's the thing now, and I think Kevin said this today, and others have reported it. Michael Wacha will be back Tuesday.
Yeah.
So when you get back home against Baltimore, Joe Musgrove, we don't even know if we'll see him this year, but the Wacha thing could be important. He'll certainly have to get work back up, you would think. It might take an outing or two, but he was obviously really good, and they've had to overcome no Wacha, no Musgrove, all the struggles, all the animosity, all the adversity. So getting Michael Wacha back, I think, is at least helpful potentially for the Padres when they get back home. And like we've been saying, I mean, every time you want to fully write them off, and I said it today on the radio. I think I probably said it Wednesday night on the wrap-up show. I mean, they were only 4.5 games out. I know it's ridiculous. It's crazy. They're 4 games under 500. The season's running out. There's only so much time. But they do gain a half game. They gained a half game. You do that every day for the next 5 days, and you're a couple of games out. So we'll see. I mean, I think after winning game 1, we've said this so many times this year, man, it would be nice to do more than 2 out of 3. It's hard to get ahead of yourself with this team. They're going to face Zach Gallen, which is never easy. After winning game 1, you have to get greedy here. You have to be thinking about a sweep. I'm with you. It's kind of like sweep, 2 out of 3 from Baltimore, 3 out of 4 from Arizona next weekend. You look up and all of a sudden see where you are.
They have to take advantage of Arizona. But even if they do that, John, say they win, they sweep the series, or they take 2 or 3, and then next weekend they sweep the series. Okay,
well,
they go.
You think okay, yeah. Then they're 9-1 in a 10-game stretch. They are then 3 games over 500. They're probably like a game out.
No, I meant you take 2 or 3 this series,
and
then you sweep the next series. It's versus Arizona. So, and then you say you win 2 or 3 versus Baltimore.
Okay. So that's 8-2 over a 10-game stretch.
8-2 over, and you're now what, 2 games over 500?
Yeah, I'm probably about 2 games out of a playoff spot, maybe 1.5. I mean, you'd be perfectly positioned.
Like that's what they need to do.
Yeah, and even if they don't, but see what I'm saying? If they do that, they have 40 games left to like go make up a game.
Yeah, and they also have 40 games left to
play like
the Padres this year.
It's tough because
it's a good win, but like I can't get on board until I officially see it. So,
and Arizona's, I mean, they're
so
obviously the worst team in baseball right now.
Yeah,
but you play them 6 times in the next week, so it's like if you go again 7-0, maybe it's a stretch, but even 6-1, maybe that's a stretch. But you go 6-1 against Arizona, maybe you change your season. Honestly, if you go 6-1 against this awful Arizona team, maybe you change your season. Now, again, there's a long way to go from 1-0 to 6-1, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Jared, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Thank you for your membership and thank you for your super. He says, hey guys, I'm alive and I'm here. Good win. Time to go on a run. It feels like it's do or die now with tough teams on the horizon. Yeah, other than Arizona, though, to everyone's point here, it's like you get 7 games against Arizona, silver platter stuff. where, I mean, they're awful. They've lost 9 straight. They should give up right now. We'll see if Torey Lovello prevents that from happening. But, I think Arizona could turn your season. I also think it might not, because I've watched the Padres a lot this year and nothing turns their season. But maybe Arizona turns your season around, potentially. We'll see.
Maybe. And Padres could win 5 of their next 6, but then easily lose 4 of their next 5.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I mean, the only way I would believe is if they play really good baseball the rest of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in September and you're 6 or 7 games over 500 and you're a half game out or a game out of the final wild card spot. And if that doesn't happen, it's hard for me to say that this is going to be it. That's the craziness of a season, is the roller coaster ride. And, when they lose, season's over. When they win, they're back in it.
Yep.
But they haven't won enough and proven that they can do it.
I agree. I do agree. I mean, right now, but for perspective, 4 games over 500 is playoff positioning.
Yeah.
And they're 4 games under.
Right.
And that's, again, the 4-game differential. You got the Cubs and Reds, who are both 4 games better than you, and then the Marlins, who are 3.5 games better than you. Forget about Arizona. If you can't be better than Arizona, then you should not be playing in the big leagues for the next 46 games.
Yeah.
But 4 games worse than the Cubs and Reds, 3.5 games worse than the Marlins. You're about to see Miami here. You win it. You take 2 out of 3. I mean, we'll see. Your point is valid. I think you made it today on the radio. Maybe it was on the wrap-up show. I forget. If the Cubs or the Reds go on a really torrid run, like if someone's able to go, making it up, 28-12 out of that group of Cincinnati or Chicago, then, well, yeah, you got no shot. But they haven't done it all year. Cubs have played really well here. Reds have come back to earth. Are the Cubs going to finish off the season by going 28-12 or 25-15? Maybe, but probably not.
If one of those teams goes 27-20 the remainder of the year, I don't know how many games they have remaining.
Right.
But I just using the 47 mark because that's where the Padres are at. They go 27-20. The Padres would need to go what, John?
31-17, like we've been talking about.
Yeah.
There's not that many games left, but somewhere in that 31-15 or something.
So out of their mind almost baseball.
Yeah, they're going to have to play that 67 baseball we've been waiting on. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do that. But again, it sounds daunting until you just win 4 in a row, which is something they haven't done.
Well, then fucking win 4 in a row.
I know. Maybe it starts here. I mean, I do buy, and there was basically the narrative heading into this. We'll get to the Supers in a moment. Guys, if you're here, thank you. Please subscribe. Also, please subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel by clicking the link in the description down below. John and Jim on YouTube, 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 Pacific. Actually, Monday 3:30 to 6. The other days, 3 to 6. So please subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel by clicking the link in the description down below. We really do appreciate that. That would mean a lot to us. But, AJ Cassaville wrote about this. I want to say Dennis Lynn wrote about this. Kevin at some point's written about it. He might have written it today. 20 of your next 26, including tonight, are against teams directly in front of you in the standings in the wild card race. Mm-hmm. The now or never scenario we talked about is actually now or never.
Yeah.
So you could do it because you're facing teams directly in front of you, or you could, fall off because you're facing teams directly in front of you. Delta J4, thank you for the super. He says, I've lost count how many times Bob Melvin has put in a pitcher versus a same-handed batter, and it results in on base or a run. I get it, but come on. So we're talking about Steven Wilson. Was that the first batter he faced, by the way, Tommy Pham? I think it was.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure. At most, it was the second, but it feels like it was the first.
As soon as they went up
7-2, like this thing's done.
They went 7-2, and I was like,
no, you're right. It was 7-1 at one point.
So you had Kerr. Yeah, Wilson replaced Kerr
to face Pham
and give it a home run.
Yeah, I mean, right. Delta, you're basically saying, though, that shouldn't be happening. It's like, he goes to a lefty to face a lefty, and it doesn't work out. He goes to a righty to face a righty, and it doesn't work out. Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, Wilson has been very leaky here recently.
But it also points to the issues in the bullpen. They have no one else.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to Suarez there because you're up 7-2.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Luis Garcia, you're barely using him, and you're afraid to use him when you're up 10-1 in the ninth inning.
Mm-hmm.
That's still not, that's disaster. You're not putting Cosgrove in there. And I think Wilson was in the game tonight, partly because of a little what happened on Tuesday night, just to have that quick turnaround. Like, because not only did they give up a huge home run that cost him the game, but
Right.
then when he hit Teoscar Hernandez in the head, thankfully it grazed his bill. That shakes you. And so the last thing you want to do is sit on your ass for a couple days and think about that. You want to go out there and turn it around and just focus on pitching. So that's probably another reason he's out there as well. Because when you give it up, like Bob Melvin's a guy where he wants to make sure if you are in a slump or whatever, you got to turn around quickly so you get that slump out of your system. It just didn't work again. And they have no one else. That's probably the best explanation.
Yeah,
they got
they
nobody
had no
else.
one else. Yeah, I agree. And again, at one point they led 7-1, to your point, then it was 7-2. I mean, you still at 7-2, you should be able to turn to anyone against Arizona and hold that lead.
Mhm.
And they nearly didn't. In fact, the tying run was at the plate because there was the homer, there was a walk. Tying run was at the plate in the eighth inning. From 7-1 up to tying run at the plate. It got hairy for a moment, then they scored 3 in the ninth. Jesse, thank you. Jesse, are you still in Hawaii, by the way?
Dude.
Thinking about everyone in Hawaii. I know I think primarily the island of Maui, and that has just been utter devastation. So our thoughts are with everyone that's gone through anything related to those wildfires. Jesse, thank you for the super. He says, upset at everyone overreacting over Soto's statement. Guilty as charged. I don't know if we overreacted, though. He said the truth, and I'd rather be told the truth than be fed BS. Overreacting to the statement. I mean, it was so raw to say like we literally quit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard not to react to that when you see a team that's 55-60, and then you hear a statement like that from one of these stars that you gave up the world for. I think it's kind of natural. Like the natural reaction would be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that." And what does that mean about the Padres?
Yeah, I think the last thing you want to hear as a fan is from your star player saying that they quit in a time when you need them to win as many games as possible, and they need to urgency.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear that they quit. That would piss me off, and it did piss me off. Because that's the last thing you'd want to hear. I'm glad that he fessed up to it and he owned it and told the truth, but at the same time, that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear we are going to we're going to fight our ass off until the very end here. We're not giving up. This series was unacceptable. This won't happen again. And we are going to be better. Not, well, you know what? This series, we gave up.
Right. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's like we've talked about. It's like fans have given so much to this team this year to hear that in its rawness. And I get frustration, and we're all humans, and maybe he didn't mean it. Mm-hmm. But I just think Juan Soto sometimes doesn't really read rooms well, doesn't take the temperature well. He's like, remember what he said in April about the Dodgers? Like, we're going to kill them.
Oh, yeah.
We're like
pitchers are going to be scared of us. And I see this sorry, go.
Yeah, and then he's hitting home runs down 4 runs, and he's doing like Soto shuffles and bopping around the bases and doing these. It's just I don't know. I've been the biggest proponent of Juan Soto since the trade of anyone. I mean, I've been, but sometimes I don't know. There's something about him. Sometimes I'm like, it's a little interesting.
And I see someone in the chat here. Where is it? Some surfer says that he was calling themselves out. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe what he did was a good thing.
Right.
That was a moment where he's like, oh shit, did Soto just say we quit? Like, I didn't feel like I quit. Maybe in that clubhouse, guys were like, whoa, I didn't feel like I quit. And they're like kind of getting a look in the mirror type of moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Juan Soto is saying like, dude, we quit. We gave up this series. We were down. That it looked like it was over from the jump. I think players might take that thing to heart, hopefully, and have some fucking pride, and start playing better baseball.
And I literally said to the super chat, that was us. We're literally doubling down on it. I just said, he says curious things sometimes. I mean, I'm not like, hey, all is perfect.
What did I
Soto.
say yesterday?
I think that the one thing I would say about Soto, what people are saying is, okay, well, he was being honest potentially, and maybe that's something that was necessary in that moment. Okay, I understand that. But I think the other side of the coin is he said the team is literally quitting, and that's problematic to hear from someone as impactful as Juan Soto, or really anyone,
He said it like
multiple
plural,
times.
and he doubled down saying we literally gave up.
Right. Back to Jesse. Thank you. Says, I get it, but how many excuses are we going to hear for their play?
That's not an excuse. That was just a fact. That was just like a reassurance, or like what we all thought was reassured by the team, by Juan
Right.
Soto.
Right.
That's what happened there. It wasn't an excuse. An excuse is like I couldn't see well, so that's why I couldn't hit. Like excuse is, well, my bat is too heavy. This was just like reaffirming what we all thought, which is at times they have no fight, and at times they have no heart, and at times they just look like they give up. And when they go down, it's very rarely they're ever going to come back. And then Juan Soto reaffirmed it. Like, yeah, that is right. This team quits at times this year.
Yeah, I mean, even like, okay, this from Chris, and we'll get to the supers in a moment. I see it from Jared, but like this Soto didn't mean that they quit. We talked to Kevin Acey today, and Kevin confirmed that he knew what he was saying. Even though English is his second language, he said it with intent, maybe not the literal line.
Giving up is quitting.
But let me read the quote again. We've got to play as a team. We've got to go out there, grind every day, grind every at bat. It's been really inconsistent. Some days we do, some days we don't. We got to do it every day. Days like this series, we just give up. Like literally, we just give up instead of keep grinding. I mean, how can that be misinterpreted? He said it 2 times. Is he saying they're giving up in the at bats and the plate appearances? That's the same thing. He says, days like this series, we just give up. Like literally, we just give up instead of keep grinding. That's a very strong admission and statement. And I don't know how you can look at it as anything other than a problem. You can say, I'm glad he said it because it's the truth. And maybe you got to hit rock bottom to bounce back, right? But I don't see that as something good to say. I just don't. I think it's an indictment on the state of the team when he said it, 55 and 60, 4-game losing streak, losing a series, getting swept in Seattle, scoring 1 run, going 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. He says they quit, and then people believe, no, he didn't really mean it. They're fine. No, they quit.
Guys, look up the definition of giving up. It's literally quitting. It's a verb. It is to stop doing something before you finish it because it is too difficult. Like, that's quitting. When someone says, I give up, you quit. If you leave somewhere before you finish a job, you are quitting.
Is that quitting? If you stop eating chocolate, you're a quitter.
No, if during a show, I get up at 4:30 and say, I give up, I'm quitting on that show.
Especially if you say I'm literally leaving. Like I'm not coming back. Now,
if anybody in the chat doesn't understand that, I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, I'm not saying that he's saying that what I'm saying is going to hold true for the next 47 games. Listen, long year, frustration.
Yeah, he didn't say they
day
quit
off
the
Thursday.
season.
Maybe they had the players only meeting. Maybe they were able to reflect. And obviously today they came out with great purpose and energy. Look at the box score. If you watch the game, I mean, look up and down the lineup. First 6 batters all had great games in this game. Very encouraging stuff. But can they continue to do it when adversity strikes? They have folded a lot this year. They have not dealt well with it. When it's Zach Gallen, Rich Hill, go win the game. Jared, thank you. Says, I think he meant that it felt like they quit, not literally maybe, but maybe they took it to heart and stepped up. I mean, he clearly doesn't mean literally, even though he said the word literally, because they didn't literally quit. Literally quitting is like keeping the bat on your shoulder. So I think he's saying I'm frustrated and it feels like we're giving up at times in games.
Yeah. So he is not saying that the team is packing it up, booking their trips to Cancun and quitting on the season, right? Because they're still going to go out there and play. He is saying
but there's just games they quit in.
Yes. And that happens too often and it happens too much.
I agree. I think that's exactly what he said.
And I said this the other day on John and Jim, why they gave me a reason to give up on the season for them, because they confirmed that in games that I thought they gave up in, they actually did. And what tells you and what makes you believe that they won't do that again? Because if they're admitting it now that they've been doing it this year, what says that they won't do it again?
Well, sometimes, like, again, you need to admit to yourself you have a problem before you can take care of the problem.
True.
Maybe that happened. Maybe. That might be giving them a little too much credit. We'll find out. Tate Anderson, thank you for the super sticker or the super chat. It doesn't appear necessarily in our software, but it may on YouTube. So thank you, Tate, for that super chat. Guys, if you're here, subscribe. If you're here, thank you for the supers, like this one from our friend Evan. You can click the $ below the chat box. He says, I don't think he was talking about himself, to be honest. And from watching all year, he's not one that comes to mind as quitting either, in my opinion. I think that's an interesting point. He's had some periods of time where he'll ride no for 12.
Yeah.
But then he's not riding a no for 30 or like a 1 for 29 type situation, but he'll go quiet for 3 games. He will. I think he had no for 4K day, maybe in Seattle, one of those 2 games. But I'm with you. I mean, if there's one player that you would have a good reason to believe hasn't really quit, it would be Juan Soto, who's still producing at a very high level, I would say.
Yeah. Juan Soto's been one of the best players on this team this year, along with Ha-Seong Kim, who, man, his season has been fantastic. Another 2 hits tonight, a double, just always on base. I mean, his 2023 season is going to be viewed by Padres fans as like, some of people's favorite seasons of a player in franchise history. Like when you talk about favorite Padres seasons, Ha-Seong Kim is going to be up there in his 2023 season. Like, man, his 2023 season was awesome.
I mean, he's just like the most confident player ever right now.
Dude,
you
so
just
confident.
See it, I mean, 16-game hitting streak that's an amazing number.
Yeah, and
I mean that's pretty incredible.
John, he's hitting 290 with an 843 OPS. Sorry, 837, my bad.
Right.
He's got 15 homers, 42 RBIs, 27 stolen bases.
Yeah, he's had a great year.
Like, you look, it's 384 on base. Dude has been so good for this team. So good. And it sucks that, you don't want to waste this type of season from a player like Ha-Seong Kim. You don't want to waste it.
No, you don't. You really don't. Jesse, thank you again. He says, Jim, he knows what an excuse is. I'm saying like previous answers they've given throughout the season based on their play. I got you. So you didn't like when you heard the, hey, we're good. Hey, don't jump off the bandwagon now because we're going to be there at the end of the season. But you did like the brutal honesty from Soto. But here's what I would say, Jesse, to that. And I completely recognize and understand what you're saying. But they've had a lot of brutal honesty. Remember Joe Musgrove in May, where he's like, we need to play with a sense of urgency. And then like he said it again. And Bob Melvin said the same thing. They have been honest before, and it hasn't resonated.
Play it for the name on the front of the jersey, not on the back of the jersey.
Yeah, that just happened a week ago, and then they lost 4 straight games.
Right.
So I think some of them have probably made excuses, but sometimes they've been honest, and it still hasn't resonated.
You know what was interesting today from Kevin, and he kind of slipped it in, and we didn't really talk about it much.
Yeah.
That they had this like secret meeting last year that they even told the media not to write about.
Good point. That's a really good point.
Like
that's a great point.
That's interesting.
And I don't fully know the circumstances based on what he told us, right? Like
And
the
I don't really know
timing.
when it was either. Maybe,
Well, it certainly wasn't September 15th or whenever that was in Arizona, because that's, it was before
yeah,
then, clearly. And they were struggling for 4 months.
maybe after Tatis got suspended, like that's like maybe like a
Hmm,
regrouping. I don't know, but
maybe.
it was. I thought that was interesting. Like, hey, they had a team meeting last year that I was told like not to write about. You're like, oh,
Interesting. Yeah, what does that really mean, told not to write about?
I don't know. Did Dennis tweet something right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. All right. Here's what Dennis Lin just tweeted. Juan Soto said after today's win, he regrets
Ah,
saying the Padres gave up Wednesday. Just shitty days. Really frustrating. I shouldn't have said anything like that. I trust in these guys. I think everybody's trying to do their best, try to go out there and win games.
so that's how you know what he said is real.
Yep.
And he meant it when he said it because he regrets saying it. So everyone that's saying, well, no, he didn't really mean that they were quitting. Well, no, he did, and he regrets saying it.
Yep. Because that basically is, like I said, calling out your teammates and telling a guy that, hey, you quit. And that guy's probably like, wait, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't quit.
Right.
Like, don't say
Yeah.
I quit.
Right.
And that, yeah, I could see that being a little bit of a problem if Soto didn't backtrack.
He regrets saying they gave up. Just a shitty day, really frustrating. And that's fine. I shouldn't have said anything like that. I trust in these guys. I think everybody's trying to do their best. Try to go out there and win games. Interesting.
Well,
Who was it? The Nationals beat reporter. We've had him on, not Chelsea Janes, who does national. I forget his name. Oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Jesse Doherty tweeted within the last 48 hours, when you talk to Juan Soto in those frustrating moments, he can be brutally honest. And he wasn't surprised by what he said because he had spoken with him previously in those type of situations where you could get the raw version of Soto.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think the frustration is a part of it. And I think, in something like that, Jim, there's some honesty in it. When you say it, you may regret it, but what you're saying has truth in it. And you may hate that that's the case, but he wasn't lying when he said it.
I don't believe he was lying at all.
And I think
Because
that's why he used the word literally.
mm-hmm.
Like Jared, who's like, LOL, thank you, Jared. I didn't realize he literally said literally, as if he was saying, as if to say, like, I'm not kidding. Like, there's quit here. There's like, we don't deal well with adversity.
No.
We curl up into a ball. That's what I think he was trying to say. And then he's probably thinking for 48 hours, like, I shouldn't have said that. I get it. We're trying, but it doesn't seem sometimes like we're trying because the results are the same every night when we're trailing.
Yeah.
So interesting. Hopefully they're able to move past it. Maybe it is one of those, hey, he said it. It holds guys accountable. Maybe we perform better as a result of him saying it on the other side. John, thank you. He says Gallen is tough. Hope the offense doesn't blow it. How many times have we talked about this, Jim? The 5+ run wins, and then they've bounced back and not been a very good team. Kevin had the stat a couple of weeks ago. They've had big wins followed by not big wins a lot this year. This would be a nice Saturday for Rich Hill to go 5 innings, allow like 2 runs. 5 innings, 3 runs, like keep your team in the game for Rich Hill tomorrow. That could go a long way.
Tomorrow's a big start for Rich Hill because you came here to eat some innings, and it's not fair to say that he's taken over the Joe Musgrove spot in the rotation, but like you don't have Joe and you got Rich Hill now. So go out there and pitch well. And if you don't pitch well, offense needs to back him up. I know you're facing Gallen tomorrow. Never easy matchup. So if Rich Hill gets up 5 runs tomorrow, go out there and score 9.
I like that. Or 10, like today.
Sure. Or 12.
Score 10.
Score 15. And
by the
really
way,
Padres,
you know what got better tonight? Padres run differential got better. Got a lot better. +5.
Yeah, it did. Ooh, give me that run differential stat, baby.
HBVV. Thank you for the super. He says, let's get Profar back. He called a Doyer fan fat. I saw that on social media.
I saw that too. It was pretty
I
funny.
don't think they're going to make a trade after the deadline. Could he be back in 2024? Probably not. But yeah, I kind of scrolled through it or over it, but interesting back and forth between Profar and the bleachers of Dodger Stadium. Jim, thank you for supering
You're
into
welcome.
your show, and thank you for your membership, Jim, as well. Guys, if you're here, subscribe, and thank you. Please consider a super chat by clicking the $sign below the chat box. We need to tell you about Mark Nimitz, our title sponsor, in about 30 seconds. He says, I'm so ready to see Tatis in center. Trent Grisham is awful. Well, here's the thing. They have elected not to move on from Trent Grisham multiple times. So there's got to be a reason for that. They see more in him than clearly the fan base has. But it's not their number one priority, right, Jim, to move off Trent Grisham, because they've had plenty of chances the last couple of years.
If they were going to do it, they would have done it by now, and they didn't. So you're not moving Tatis to center like with 46 games left.
No, it's at this point it's 2024, no doubt. All right, we're going to get back to the supers. Jared, I'll get back to you in one moment. Do want to remind you that we need to thank our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz. We can't do this without your support, guys. Everyone that's here live or on replay, we can't do it without you. And we could never do it without Mark, who's been with us for over 2 years now, since day one of the wrap-up show on YouTube. He's a great insurance agent. You can take it from me. I've got my insurance policies through him, homeowners, life, earthquake insurance policy. He saved us thousands of dollars last year. We had a flood in our home, had to put in all new flooring, had to get all kinds of work done. And Mark took care of everything. I wouldn't have known where to start. And Mark took care of everything. He's got great service and communication. He saved us thousands of dollars. Just by switching your insurance, he can save you hundreds of dollars, $750 or more. You see his website on the screen. Click the link in the description down below. You'll get to his site. You can get free quotes online or by calling Mark. He'd love to talk to you about the Padres. He'd love to talk to you about saving money on your insurance, whatever it is, auto, home, business, life, condo, renters, earthquake, etc. Free quotes online, free quotes by calling Mark. He's a San Diegan and a lifelong Padres fan. If you support our channel, please support Mark Nimitz. If you have an insurance need, call Mark. Will save you money. If it's a renewal, before you renew, get in contact with Mark. If you're looking for a new policy, make sure to contact Mark Nimitz, the title sponsor of the wrap-up show, by clicking the link in the description down below.
Yeah, all this information is always above my head. mnimitz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to our buddy Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
All right, thank you, Mark. Padres over the Diamondbacks in Game 1. The 4-game losing streak is over. The Padres are 4 games out of the last playoff spot. Jared, thanks again. He says, Soto hustling out that triple, silence the haters. Yeah, I was surprised, actually, that he tripled. It doesn't seem like that happens often, but he was quick out of the box.
He hit it in a spot of the park that was
the perfect
like
spot.
Triples territory.
Yeah, no doubt. 2 for 5, 2 RBIs. 929 OPS. I just looked up top 10 OPS seasons in Padres history. You'd have to be around 950. Mm-hmm. He's at 930. In the history of the Padres, whatever that is, 50-something seasons. I think I have the math right. Maybe it's more than that at this point, 50-something seasons. He's probably sitting around 12 in the history of the Padres in a season for OPS. 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. It's been a nice year. Not perfect, but it's been a nice year.
And who's hating on Soto right now?
A lot of people. I mean, after Wednesday night, not really on field.
Tuesday night, you mean? Or no, Wednesday night?
No, Wednesday night.
I wasn't hating on Soto.
No, but a lot of people. I mean, I think there were people that are very critical of the comments.
Soft. Get over it. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break, dude. Like,
there's been a lot of hatred on Soto.
I know
a lot of hatred on
early
Soto.
Early this season.
Throughout this, he's not. I wouldn't sign him to an extension. I'd never give him $400 million. He's not the player he was in Washington. All he does is walk. Come on.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there are those people out there, and they'll always be like that. All he does is walk.
Yeah.
All he does is walk.
I mean, it's like unless he has an 1100 OPS, it's not going to be good enough. And that's not realistic. That would be far and away the highest in a season in Padres history.
Yeah, he's been great this year. Him and Ha-Seong Kim have been the best Padres offensive players of the season. We said that.
And Kim, I mean, we're giving Kim so many accolades, and it's deserved. It's well-deserved. But if everyone's going to give Ha-Seong Kim accolades all year long, then you have to do the same for Juan Soto. He's had a better year.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't defend like Ha-Seong Kim, and that's what and he doesn't run like Ha-Seong Kim.
Did you see his outfield assist though the other night?
Yeah. So
rocket.
Yeah. So anyway, it's an interesting point, Jared. Yeah, there's not as many haters as there were. I mean, last year, remember the criticism of Juan Soto? It was crazy.
I mean, the dude hit 214
I
for the
know he didn't do
Padres
anything. He didn't do anything
with like
but,
3 home runs.
I know
5 or something. It's crazy.
True. But he also was traded at the deadline. Played 60 games. I mean, he's a human. He didn't have a great year, but yeah, I felt like the jury was like. It felt like some people just kind of that was their opinion of Juan Soto, and it was not going to be changed unless he was the MVP this year.
Shit, everybody thought that Juan Soto. Remember the projections for this year? Everyone projected Juan Soto to be the
MVP.
highest WAR player and MVP of the National League.
Good point. And it's not going to be that year, unfortunately. But his WAR, let's see, is 4.5. So nice year. And the reason Kim's is higher is because of his defense and because of his speed. Jared, thank you again. He says he didn't meet you, Jim. You know what it means. He meant the Facebook idiots. Man, I'll tell you, Facebook's an interesting place, isn't it? You think Twitter's an interesting place? Facebook's bizarre.
I am in some of those groups. I never do anything, but they show up on my timeline. I'm just like,
people are like, I love when people are like, Soto said a couple days ago that the team quit. Like, yeah, we saw it. It was 3 days.
Like, yeah, thanks a lot. We understand. We right. Yeah. Like maybe Juan Soto should like hit in the 8th spot in the lineup.
Right. Like, I saw in USA Today, someone said Bob Melvin might not be back in 2024. Has anyone heard of such a thing?
Did you
see
official? What Bob Nightingale said about Xander Bogaerts?
Yeah.
Like, okay, don't ever go on Facebook. Ever.
I use Facebook, but only because of like
I'm talking about like for serious shit about the Padres.
No, I know.
Those groups.
I know.
Man.
I'm with you. So I think the story tonight
I wanted to get to one. Wanted to get to one here. Carlos says, Jim, I get you're getting upset with people trolling, but to be honest, that's your whole shtick. Relax.
So true. The irony, man.
But I mean, yeah, I troll, but I'm not being. But here's the thing: I'm not being serious. Like some people are like legitimately being serious when they troll.
Right.
I'm not serious.
Like today, you're back and forth. I don't even remember what it was.
What was it?
With Matt Scraby.
Oh, yeah. I'm trolling.
Scraby.
No, actually, I'm being serious. I didn't listen to that podcast.
No, but Scraby sent out a tweet. It was from like USA Today, like 3 reasons why not to like bet against the Padres.
Yeah, and this is all your fault too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm like, come on. I'm like, what do you mean 3 reasons not to bet against the Padres? They're 55 and 60. We've been talking about this all year, but whatever. So then so he tweeted out like, hey, not all articles are negative. And then I'm like, don't let Jim Russell SD see this. And then he's like, Jim's whole like shtick is the Padres have to lose for like Jim to like Twitter to work or whatever he said.
That's not true, by the way.
Like you feed off, Padres losses on Twitter,
dude.
And I laughed at that.
The most engagement I get on Twitter is actually when they do something positive. So there you go.
Not when you tweet out the like, dude, like juggling the freaking. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like, come on, what am I doing? I mean, the bullpen goes with 6 runs or 5 runs in the 8th and 9th inning on Wednesday night. What am I supposed to do? Like everything's sunshine and rainbows here. Like, give me a break, dude.
Oh man.
But then I was like, go tweet out your podcast, and then he tweeted it out. And he's like, listen to it, and I was like, nah.
So good. We all work together, by the way, at some point. That's why it's kind of
nah. Screw you, Scraby.
Yeah, Scraby. We know you're watching, by the way.
Yeah, I see you.
I don't think we can see actually who's watching. Where were we?
Besides that, I'm a troll,
which is true. I'm just looking at the chat. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. It's just funny what people say, like, oh, like Soto didn't show up in the Dodgers series. I know it's just a back and forth in the conversation. Or I saw Machado, he had 2 hits in the 4-game series against the Dodgers. I'm like, okay, and we're going to then say that it's not wise to give him an extension or the $350 million deal is a bad deal. I mean, you can piecemeal anything out, especially at its low point, and say, wow, in this series that they didn't win, these players weren't good. Well, yeah. I mean, there's like 50 series in a year.
Dude, you know how many teams would build their entire franchise around Juan Soto?
A lot.
29. Actually, no, I take that back. 30. Well, no, 29.
No. Well, you're saying you build around Shohei.
Okay, 28.
Right. I mean, there's
Because the
some
other
good
team
players.
has,
I mean, there's
and
the Acuñas, and I mean, there's some players that are definitely as good as Juan Soto, but he's a good player.
I say 28 because one of those teams has Shohei, and the other team, I believe, is the Padres. I don't know if they're going to build around Juan Soto. We'll see.
Is he? It's an interesting way to look at it. Like, is he the guy you like built? Like, you start with Soto, and go from there. If you're a franchise, I mean, yeah, I think offensively, I guess that probably makes sense. He's always on base,
Dude,
but he
they
doesn't.
chose.
He doesn't
They
impact the
chose.
game defensively. He doesn't impact the game with his wheels.
It feels like they chose who they're building this franchise around. And his name is Manny Machado.
Yeah, well, it also feels like I mean, I don't know.
Prove me wrong and sign Soto to a $500 million contract.
Yeah, but they haven't
it.
had the chance to do that. I mean,
I
you
know.
also have Scott Boras as an agent who turned down $440 million. I mean,
I know. But that's what I'm saying, John, is like, prove me wrong. Go out there and sign Soto and actually build around him and Tatis.
well, they may.
Okay, then do it. I just don't know if
And they may not, and because they may not have the ability to give him $500 million if someone else is going to give him $500 million.
Why is that?
No, that's not solely because of Manny Machado. They gave 280 to Bogarts. They gave 340 to Tatis. They gave 100 something to Musgrove. They gave 100 something to Darvish. It's not only going to be because of Machado. If the reason they can't sign him is because of Machado.
Well, also Soto is going to have to want to stay here too.
That's what I'm saying. Well, everyone wanted Machado this past offseason. So, like, you wanted Machado to walk to keep Soto? Nobody would have said that a year ago.
Go sign Soto then.
They still can. You're the one who has said they can't sign him until it gets closer to him becoming a free agent, if not free agency.
I'm talking to myself in a year.
Okay, that is fair. Okay, while we have a moment, we do want to remind you about Aura, our friends at Aura. If you're looking for plant-based nutritional products, this is the place to go. Huge supporter of the channel. They've been with us for the better part of the last 2 years. Their co-founder, Will, is a San Diegan and a huge Padres fan. He's been a big-time supporter of our work. And again, if you want to get healthier, make sure to go to ora.organic or click the link in the description down below. They have all plant-based nutritional products, whether it's the probiotic, which I take every single day for digestion, or if it's the proteins for after workouts or pre-workout supplements, omega-3 oils. If you're taking a fish oil, they have omega-3 oils with the same health benefits. They have sleep pills, immunity pills, literally something for everyone. Yourself, your spouse, your family, your friends. If you're looking to get healthier, click the link in the description down below or go to ora.organic. And again, if you support our work, please support our local partners like Aura, San Diego based offices in Liberty Station. Check them out by clicking the link in the description down below or by going to ora.organic.
Yeah, go there right now. They have everything you need to live a healthy lifestyle. If you want to start taking some healthy supplements and you don't know where to start, Aura is the best place to go. Their supplements are all organic and plant-based. www.ora.organic. Will, founder of Aura, huge Padres fan. He supports us. You should support him. Go there right now, pick up some stuff, and you'll thank us later.
Yeah, no doubt. Is this accurate? 3 RBIs tonight. Did he have 2 in July?
Yeah. No, he's had 2 since July, like 5th.
Right. It was like 2 over a month-long period.
Yeah.
Which isn't good.
No, it's not good.
But I mean, he's really been, sideways, really.
Did you see this in the chat from gas station Dick Pill?
I saw this that says I finally tried Aura's protein and loved it. Thank you. Click that link in the description down below.
Awesome. Good job, Harry.
What were you asking me?
This comment in the chat. That was funny. I laughed pretty hard.
Oh, I do see it. I do see it.
I would not do it for 50K. Sorry.
No.
Actually,
if you kick the bucket, I could just use Fadden.
I'm like, Yeah.
Jake, what's up, man? Jake was tagging us on social media. He was at the game tonight in Phoenix in the desert. He was saying it's like the best game he's been to. It was a good game from
Didn't you got
Padres'
like? Didn't they
perspective.
like throw you a baseball?
Even better.
That's awesome.
Even better.
Glad they won for you. That means you have to go to the next 2 games, and if you don't go to the next 2 games and they lose, this is your fault.
It's on
Jake.
you. It's on you.
100% on you.
And if you go to the next 2 games and they lose, it's 100% on you as well.
And if you go to the next 2 games and they win, you have to go to every single game for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, you got to get San Diego.
Yeah,
Monday night.
That's how these things work, dude. Sorry.
This is Tate. Thank you. He says wasted money on Xander. Rumblings. He's unhappy. Is he the cause of the clubhouse issues? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And nobody knows what's going on. Is my point. You see, you got Soto apologizing tonight.
And if you know, it's kind of hush hush.
Yeah, it's like if you do know, you can't say anything.
Right.
Would be my guess.
But like, I think the Xander Manny kind of like is real or was real. I don't know if it's still there, but I think it's something that was there and maybe is there. So yeah, do I think this clubhouse is perfect? No chance in hell. No chance in hell. Do I think there's still things going on in this clubhouse? Absolutely. Do I think part of maybe the meeting on Wednesday was like, we got to put all of our differences aside if we want to win? Maybe. Yeah, I do, because these guys are not like best of friends. There is big egos in there, and they clash, and they've clashed all year. And it's probably one of the main reasons why they are 55 or 56 and 60. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at some quotes in Kevin Acey's post-game article. He posts the article typically right after the game, but he adds quotes in usually 30 or 40 minutes later, like right now. And there's nothing really beyond the Soto quote that we already saw from Dennis, other than Bob Melvin, who says, as far as talking and explaining, rationalizing all these things, we just have to perform. Right now we're in a situation where we have to win. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's about action. So he's kind of saying, like, the time for talking is over. Like the time for to our collective point. What's going on with this team? What's wrong with the dynamic? Who cares? Like, it's like, just figure it out at this point, or they're not going to be in the postseason.
I think we all said talking was over like 2 months ago.
Right.
Like a month and a half ago. I remember the same Bob Melvin said the same thing. Talk is cheap. Time to stop talking and start doing. He said that multiple times in post-game interviews.
Well, you were reading quotes earlier today from June.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to play with urgency. Time's running out.
Yeah. So if they continue to play like average baseball and then they have like a bad stretch, what are they going to say then? I don't know. Like, this is it. This is the final straw. This is it. You are done. You have used up all your lives. This is your last life. There's no more team meetings. There's no more talk is cheap. There's no more any of these quotes. Okay. This is it. You used it up. You used all of your equity on what happened Wednesday night. You got 46 games remaining. What are you
Is this a real like quote from Ozzie Guillen? Winners win and losers have meetings.
Probably. It probably is
funny.
Probably is a quote from Ozzie Guillen.
I like the idea, but that's kind of, I think that might be Melvin's point too.
Yeah, like, guys, what are we doing here?
The pizza parties are over. Hey, let's all go bowling in Pittsburgh because we had the WBC. Remember, Musgrove was like, hey, we probably need to bond a little bit. But no, not anymore. Maybe in April. Right now, you need to win a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it's only like, the season's over in 6-7 weeks. Just go perform for 6-7 weeks. Can you do that for us, please? Murray, thank you, man, for the very generous super. He says, I've been watching Major League Baseball for 44 years. I've seen some pretty bad teams in my day, but no matter what, I don't wane until it's over. Love you guys. Love your guys' takes. Love you guys. Come to Minnesota. Love to meet you in person. Okay, wrap-up show on the road for Minnesota for Murray. I like it. I like it, Murray.
Don't hate it.
If you have a charter.
I've never been to Minnesota. Yeah, send the PJ and we'll be on board in a second. I was
gonna say, either have I, man. I've never been to Minnesota.
Never been to Minnesota, no. Yeah.
What's it like? Is it snowing right now, Murray?
No, because it's summertime, John.
Oh, yeah, it's August. That's right.
Yeah, send the PJ. We'll be there tomorrow.
By the way, I love this sentiment, by the way, of Padres fans of like, it's not over. I love that. You shouldn't, nobody said, don't give up. Don't give up. Even if it doesn't look good, I get it. As
Don't
long
listen to
as,
me how I
yeah.
feel.
No,
Just
as
because
long
I
as
feel a certain way.
well, no, and nobody's saying it's over. We're saying, man, I can't believe it's gotten to this point where it's going to be hard to get out of. But no, it's not over until it is over. If there's 5 games left and they're 5 out, I'm going to tell you it's not going to happen. Even if they're, hey, we need 5 wins and they need 5 losses, I'll tell you, stop wasting your time.
Yeah, no
But
point.
with 46 games left, things happen. Now, unfortunately, they haven't shown us a lot of reasons to believe things will happen, but things do happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But they're still, like I've been saying, they're still an unserious baseball team because they are 4 games under 500.
I just muted myself because there's a train going by.
That's all right. By the way, John doesn't know who Dom Toretto is.
I do not. Which means it's from a movie and not like a baseball player.
Bro, how do you not know about family?
Who?
It's about family, John.
What family?
Can people in the chat please roast John? Please.
Why?
Family, John. I do it for my family.
Is this some Star Wars thing?
And he's being serious. This is not a bit.
I have no clue.
He has no idea.
Oh, it's Vin Diesel.
Yes. But you have no idea what movie is that from, right?
Vin Diesel.
What movie?
Vin Diesel.
That's the person, not the movie.
I don't know, dude. God. I spend 16 hours a day on YouTube.
Yeah, me too. And I still know.
True. Star Wars.
Yes. He's Darth Vader.
Dude, I don't care. It's from Cars.
Okay. Yeah, Cars. Cars the movie.
Anyway, while we have a moment, I don't know what we're talking about. Hold on. Guys, if you're looking for the best and easiest place to play fantasy sports, look no further. UnderdogFantasy.com. Click the link in the description down below and get a 100% deposit match up to $100 by using promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. 100% deposit match up to $100. You don't have to deposit $100. You can start your deposit with just $10. They'll match it by using promo code PADSWRAP. Daily drafts going on right now across all sports. Season-long drafts going on in the NFL. Chances to win millions, literally millions in prizes in best ball draft contests with the NFL. Major League Baseball daily draft starts just $3 per draft. You can auto draft. You can do the draft yourself. After the draft, they take care of everything. No waivers, no trades. It could not be easier. Then they have the daily pick'ems going on right now where you just pick simple higher or lower and you can win. 2 or more and you can win. All types of ways to win. It could not be easier, just higher or lower. Let's find the Padres for tomorrow night, for example, in Arizona. Was that Shohei? Will Shohei Ohtani have half single or more tomorrow? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's find the Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr., will he have a half single tomorrow? Hold on. Let's see who's heating up here. Ha-Seong Kim is a guaranteed half single.
Way higher.
To extend his hitting streak. And then Zach Gallen, I'm going to bet against him.
Okay, do it.
And I'm going to go higher than 2.5 earned runs.
Boom.
I'm going to bet on the Padres.
Let's go. 4 games under, betting on the Padres.
$30 wager pays $180 with a simple pick'em, 3 higher or lowers. You can insure it and you can still win just by getting 2 out of 3 correct. UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code PADSWRAP. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Did I not put that in the stream, by the way? Or did you take it down?
I took it down.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I had it up. This is interesting. Let's take lower, right? Please. We don't need 3 home runs.
I'll take higher to reverse jinx.
I like it. The last movie I saw in the theater was Barbie, which was and prior to that was Top Gun Maverick, and prior to that was Secret Life of Pets in like 2010.
He's seen 3 movies in the last 20 years.
Correct. Only 2 in San Diego in my life.
That's it.
Correct. But then again, I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I've seen like 3 in Pennsylvania.
So you've seen like a total of like 7 movies in his entire life.
Correct. And as an adult, I've seen less than 7 in a theater. I can promise
I've seen
you that.
7 in like 2. I've seen 7 movies in the last like 2 months.
But dude, the theater I went to, Del Mar or something, they got the recliners and they got the this.
The
And
loft.
it was ridiculous.
Amazing. Once you go there, you never like.
Dude, I want to watch. I was thinking I want to watch the college football there, and I want to watch like Major League Baseball playoffs.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Do they rent it? By the way, sat first row, not a great idea.
Yeah, not the greatest.
Did you ever sit first row?
No, only idiots sit first row.
That was me. I think I got a deal, maybe.
Yeah, because they only sell those tickets to idiots.
You're such an idiot. Well, otherwise, I couldn't have gotten in. Going with the Wind was good, man. Oh, man. What else? Anything else we missed today, Jim? Anyone here in the chat? What did we miss? Oh, here's what we missed. Subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel. Okay.
Yes, subscribe to their brand new YouTube channel, please. We would love it. John and Jim 760. We've only had this thing for about 4 days. Trying to get to 1,000 right now subscribers. I just posted a couple new videos. If you missed Kevin AC today, go check that out. It's uploaded, and we are doing our full shows now on YouTube. So yes, Jeff Burns, this is family. Go if you're part of this family, go subscribe to John and Jim. Also subscribe here and make sure you like these videos. We would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and by the way, like you said, we're doing every show on YouTube, but Monday, I know people are going to be complaining about this, Jim.
What?
Because the stream's not going to start Monday until 3:30 because we do this collaboration with NBC7, which is great, Sports Wrap, which is on like Roku. So for the collaboration, we can't be on YouTube and Roku essentially at the same time. So from 3 to 3:30, we'll be with Dark Night Trip, NBC7 every single Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then every other portion of our live shows from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, are on YouTube. So click the link in the description down below. Click the link in the live chat. We would appreciate it if you subscribe. Like you said, I mean, we've only done this for 3 or 4 days, probably 72 hours, 3 or 4 shows.
Yeah.
And we've had some good traction because of you guys, honestly. So thank you. Please do subscribe. And look at this. People are subscribing as we say it. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Okay. Please subscribe to this channel, The Wrap Up Show. Please smash the like button for us. Padres big win. Smash the like button. Follow us on Twitter at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Appreciate your support of our partners. By the way, appreciate those of you who are with us on replay. We do thank those super thanks that have come in recently. Thank you so much for the super thanks. Please support our partners, our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have auto, home, renters, life, or earthquake insurance needs or more, get in contact with Mark by clicking the link in the description down below. If you're looking to get healthier, another local business, their co-founder, Will, at Aura, great company, great guy, great supporter of this channel, ora.organic, or click the link in the description down below. They have plant-based nutritional products, all of them, supplements. And then Underdog Fantasy, underdogfantasy.com or the Underdog Fantasy app. Use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. I feel like it's been a busy week. Very busy.
Yeah, because we live on YouTube now.
That's the problem. If you want to watch us sleep on YouTube, we have a brand new sleep channel.
We're going to put out a sleep channel next, and it's us just sleeping. Just like
pretty cool.
Snoring. Peace be with you, Jesus.
Thank you. Oh, you can click that again.
Oh, sorry.
On that note, we'll see you guys Sunday night. Wrap up show Sunday night. We'll wrap up this series.